What's going on, guys? Plastic Beach X3 back here with another One Piece sim video, and this time it's going to be another ranked ladder video, this time utilizing the Zolo strategy, the Rora Nora Zoro from OP01. Not a big red player here personally. You always see me on like green decks or blue decks, more recently purple decks, but I have taken quite a liking to this deck, just like looking forward to OP08. You know, admittedly, it's the only deck I've tested for OP08, but it's the only like new deck I could think of that's like, okay, Bonnie gets some new cards like Kara and Electric Luna. Like King as a deck that's like pretty bad, but and then like Pudding is also like whatever. So like nothing has really interested me, like no new deck except for this one. I actually do think this deck could be pretty good. Now that RP Law is gone and Lucci doesn't have the stage, like Lucci still kind of fucks on this deck, to be honest. If they see everything, but like without stage, it becomes much better. It seems like. And like that might have been just the thing that was holding it down, to be honest, because this deck is kind of fucking crazy. I'm gonna go over all the new cards and stuff, and like I guess I'll just all the cards, and we'll go over their effects and stuff because it is like the cards haven't come out yet, so maybe a lot of people don't know what these cards do. So we'll talk about them and like analyze them with a competitive perspective and all that kind of stuff, and then we'll go over some ranked games on the Eastern Sim. And just to be forewarned, I never really play on the Eastern Sim, so like my first few games are pretty low rank, but we get a little bit higher towards the end. Towards the end we're sitting about 450 on the ladder in the Eastern. So, and I've really only played like 10 or 12 games, but either way. So we're bringing back the Zoro. He's a red leader, 5 life, Dawn X1. Give everything plus 1,000, so he could potentially go plus 5 in Dawn advantage if you have a full board. Just a busted car, a busted leader from back in the day. And then obviously 4Kid Killer is like one of the best red cards ever printed. Pretty good in this deck. It makes it a 4-drop 8K rather than a 4-drop 7K. And like you're always pressuring life really hard, so it's pretty easy to get them down to 2. And then we'll talk about the animal engine later. We'll talk about like the generic cards like Zoro. 3-drop 5K, just, it's the Zoro deck, so he's a 3-drop 6K most of the time. 2 of the 8-drop Rayleigh and 2 of the 8-drop Dragon. Dragon is an older card. Well, OP07, not OP08 is what I mean. Just great in this leader. You can give Zoro 2 Dawn, and he becomes a 7K, and then Dragon becomes a 10K rush, 8-drop 10K rush, which is, just a ton of pressure. Plus, like, assuming you're on 8 Dawn and you have a bunch of 4K body stick, you just have a bunch of 5Ks as well. And then Silver's Rayleigh, he is on play, 8-drop 8K on play, chooses 2 characters. One of them gets minus 3,000, one of them gets minus 2,000. And then you KO a 3,000 or lower, so you can essentially kill a 5K or a 6K with this effect. And that minus happens, or continues to happen until the end of your opponent's turn. So if you like minus 3K to a 6K body and then kill the 6K body, minus 2K to a 7K body, that 7K body on your opponent's turn is now only swinging for 5K in at you. So it's just a really good card. Also, it pairs well into the Bonnie meta that everyone's been talking about, because against 8-drop Kid and Corazon, you can play this card. Minus 2 to the Corazon, minus 3 to the Kid, Rayleigh effect, kill the Corazon. And then the Kid is now a 5K body that you can swing into with your leader and all your mini bodies. So it's pretty good card, and I find it pretty important. I actually thought about bringing it up a little bit in the list, but I haven't really messed around. This is just the list that I threw together, and I'm still testing out the ratios and stuff, but this is like the general card pool of what I would play. And then we'll go into like the Straw Hat stuff. We got Nami, Searcher, Sanji 2K. I chose the Sanji 2K because there's a lot of decks like Bonnie and stuff that want to starve you in Enel, so that they can get their effects of this, and Nami as well. So this seems like pretty good into that kind of meta. And then other Straw Hat searchable cards would be the Radical Beam, of course, great card. Could theoretically bump this up, but once again, a lot of decks in this meta are trying to starve you, so you don't really get down to two life cards all that often. And when you do, you're losing the game. So, I mean, when you do, you're like probably winning on board, is what I meant to say. You don't really care that much, but either way, it's an okay card. I mean, it's a great red card. It was limited at one point in time, so. And then other Straw Hat searchable cards is the new EB01 Chopper. He's a blocker, and then Donix 2 when attacking gives something minus 3,000, which comes up quite a bit in this deck that you can just like clear a big body. So like with leader effect and his ability, he'll go up to 7k. So you can swing into like a 7k minus 3 and it'll be 4k. So you go 7 into 4 on a 7k body. It's pretty good. Even at 8k, you go 7 into 5. So that's pretty good. Like into Kid, you can make it 7 into 5 just like that with only a 3 Dawn investment. So that's pretty good. And then this Chopper, which you'll see why we run this, it's essentially a vanilla, but it's good just because it's a Chopper card. And then this Chopper from OP04, on play an animal type character card with 3,000 power or less from your hand. We have only 2 targets. A lot of people play the vanillas, but I just don't see the value in the vanillas. I'd much rather just play the 2K counters, the new Hiking Bear and the Super Spot Build Duck Squad. They're both the 2 summonable targets off of this, and a lot of times you don't even use this effect. You're just getting a body on board. But like this effect sometimes comes up. It's Donix 1 activate main. You can give another animal plus 1,000. That sometimes comes up, but this one never comes up. They're mostly just 2K counters that are summonable off of this thing. And so that you don't have to play like just like 1-drop vanillas that are just so bad into Lucci, it's insane. So yeah, I just thought these were valuable. In the list that played a bunch of the vanillas, they don't run any 2Ks. They only run like, they barely run any 2Ks, and we thankfully are on 12 of them with the rad beams. So I feel like this deck is a lot more defensive than the other lists that I've been seeing, and I think like the utility of being a 2K and potentially being summonable off of the Chopper is a lot better than just the vanilla. That's the only purpose is to be summoned off of the Chopper. That's what I'm trying to say. And then we get the reason why the deck exists, the most busted card in the deck. Potentially one of the most busted red cards since Kid Killer. It just makes this deck tick. It's 3-drop 5k, so really good. No counter though, which is fine because on your turn, if you on play and when attacking, you can look at the top 5 of your deck and play any animal type card with a 4,000 power or less rested, and then you put them back in the bottom any order. So you have this Chopper, which will get as effect if you summon it, the blocker Chopper, this vanilla Chopper, and the 2K counters that you can summon off of this Chopper. So you have a ton of targets, and the advantage that this card brings is just literally just the thing that Zoro needed to be meta again, in my opinion. You'll see in the games that this card is just so busted. And I think it's going to be pretty good next set. And then we have the Animal Searcher Kureha. So just like Nami, it can search the animal cards, but only searches top 4, unfortunately, because it can't find Drum Kingdom cards. It actually cannot find this Duck Build Squad thing because it can't find animal cards. It has to find a Tony Chopper or a Drum Kingdom card. But it can find the Hiking Bear, this Chopper, this Chopper, this Chopper, this Chopper. So, and they Shut Up and Come With Us. Speaking of, this card is also pretty good. It's a counter card, but it doesn't plus anything, so you just have to remember that you want to hold up a Dawn, but you're not going to use the plus 1,000 or whatever like you usually do. You just use it and then probably take the life or whatever. But it's a counter card. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck and play a 3 or less animal. Do I need to say more? This card is also busted. This could potentially go up to 4 because it's just such a good card. This card is so good. In combination with this and this, like, and you get a blocker potentially off of it. It's like, yeah, it's pretty good. Or like, if you're like really need to go for game, late game, you can hold this up and then like play this into this guy, and then like leader effect makes it a 4 and a 5 just base, so you can just swing out. It's pretty good. But enough talking. Let's get into some games here. And once again, this is very low ranked ladder. This is actually my first game on the ranked ladder. The East ranked ladder, at least. We're playing against a blue-green Sanji. Our hand is pretty gas. And also, like, don't criticize me too hard for making all these misplays. Because I definitely will make some misplays. Like I said, first time playing the deck. And I just decided to go on the ranked ladder because I thought it would be better practice than just doing random Eastern games. We're going to swing 5 and we're going to play the chopper. And the first time playing it, we whiff. So, unfortunate. But that's fine. I don't think blue-green Sanji is a good way to remove it. They do have the buggy, so they're on the post starter deck stuff. They're going to swing 5 with their leader effect and then play a Weevil, draw a card. We draw into the Shut Up and Come event. We're going to put 1 under a leader and then swing 6 with the chopper and then effect to play the blocker chopper off the top and then swing 6 with leader, and then we can play another I don't know what to call it, book chopper. I don't know what the community is going to be calling that card yet, but we get to play the antler chopper off of him. I guess just for this purposes, until I find out what it's called, we're going to call it the book chopper. He's going to swing 6 into our book chopper. We're going to use the Shut Up and Come event and play the Super Duck Bill, and then we'll just 2K out of the swing. They're going to play Dofi, which lets them play a Bartholomew Kuma. Tap to reveal 1. Okay, so they played it off the top of their deck, and then they're going to swing 6 into the chopper. We'll just 2K out of that. Not very familiar with the OP08, with the new like blue stuff yet, so don't criticize me too hard if I don't know what these cards do that my opponent's playing. We're going to go 5 with the Duck Bill, 5 with the Antler, and then we're going to go 6 base into the Weevil because our opponent discarded 2 cards over that, and then we can play with both of our book choppers, the blocker chopper and the hiking bear, and then we can swing 6 more into the Weevil. We're going to replace the hiking bear for the Zoro, swing 7, hold up a bluff, rad beam, and pass turn. So as you can see the hilarious, disgusting potential that the book chopper has. They're going to play the 4-drop boa. That's a pretty busted card. It lets you, I believe, look at the top 3 and then put a Dawn under a character. Then they're going to use the Dofi, tap a Dawn, tap 2 Dawn, I believe, to play the boa from the top that they just stacked with the other boa blocker. And then they're going to look at the top 3 again with that boa blocker, put another Dawn under the Dofi. Dofi's going to swing 7 into our book chopper. We cannot counter out of that, so we got to let that go. And then they're going to swing 6. We got to let that go, and then they're going to swing 7. We got to let the other book chopper go, unfortunately, but we should have a lot of good pressure going forward here. We'll put a Dawn under our leader, swing 7 with the Zoro character. We're probably just going to play Kick Killer after swinging out. Potentially hold up a blocker, but no. Yeah, we're just going to put a lot of pressure up front. Going to swing 7 with the Antler Chopper. They're going to counter out of that. We'll swing 7 with our leader. And then we're going to hold back 8 with the Kick Killer. And they're going to block that pass turn. So it must be down bad on counter, of course. They're going to play the 3rd boa blocker. Look at the top 3. And then put a Rested Dawn under one of their leaders or characters. Going to be able to play whatever they want off of that because of the Dofi. And they play the Mihawk. Mihawk cannot get its effect. I do know what that card does. Because they have 3 or more characters on the field. They're going to swing 7 into our Kid Killer, and we're just going to let it go because, of course, they can swing 7/7 with their leader ability, going to be able to stand up the Dofi. So we will just let that go and then count out of this one after they commit the stand up, the Dawn to the leader. And then we can counter out of that one, keep 2 bodies up just in case, but I'm sure 15 would have got there in the end either way. Oh no, they have a blocker on the field, so actually we did need to protect that. But once again, we're at 4 life, so it's like we probably could have lived the turn if we didn't have the counter there. We'll go into the next game against an Enel player. Our hand's atrocious, so we're gonna mulligan. We do have double special summon event. I don't know. I don't want to keep calling it shut up and come because it's so funny, but I think I have to. I don't want to say the whole name. We'll just call it shut up. How about that? So could play the chopper, or even the Zoro swing 6/6, but I feel like I just want to get value off of the shut up event. They're going to play the 4-drop I Am God event and hit the Enel. What, does that make you trash your life? I didn't know that. And then they're going to choose not to swing because they realize they need to starve us. And we'll just play a Nami, search the book chopper. Probably going to play said book chopper. They didn't swing into us, so we couldn't get value off of the shut up event. And they actually take that, so it's actually just better to play the Zoro to make them discard a card so that they, otherwise they go to 0, of course. I was expecting the 2K counter out of that, potentially a bluffing kid killer or something. But they actually took the cycle so that we can punish them with the Zoro on this kickback. They're going to swing 7 with Enel into our Zoro. We probably just use the shut up event. Play the blocker chopper and let that go. Unfortunately, you can't use the shut up event, play the chopper, and then block with the chopper because it happens in the counter phase, and the counter phase, in terms of turn phase order, is after the block phase. They're going to tap 5 for a sure Hoshi and just pass, not giving us a life card, which is fine. We're going to swing. We're going to put a Dawn under a leader, put 2 under the chopper, swing 7 into the 7K Enel, and then use the effect to -3 cost, or 3,000 to it. They do not use the ability because that would have been a massive waste. So we are just now going to swing 6 at life. Now play the book chopper, maybe. Swing 6/5 with Nami. If they take this, we can swing with the Nami. If they counter, we probably don't swing and hold up the event. Yeah, we're going to get another card out of hand with the Nami. And then play the book chopper, play the mountain bear, whatever, hiking bear. Pass turn. So obviously Yamato would suck here. Oh, okay. Speak of the devil. They're going to pop the book chopper and then gain a life. Swing 5 into the blocker chopper, I assume. Nope, into the Nami to guarantee the kill. That's fair enough. And then we top deck a book chopper. We could continue to go wide, and I think that is what we do. Or we could play the dragon and go tall, but I think it's better to go wide in this spot. We're going to put 1 under leader, 1 under mountain bear, and then bear effect, boost our chopper. Swing 5 with the bear. They'll give us a Nami, and then we'll swing 6 with the chopper. So yeah, now we drag him because they countered out of it. And we're just going to put him to 0. And it's probably, yeah, if we can put them to 0, it's always dragon. I was just afraid that we wouldn't be able to put them to 0 if they counter out of those 2 of those swings. Oh, yep, and they do. They do end up countering out of 2 of the swings, so we can't even swing with our dragon. Pretty Rygoable, but if they Rygo, we're chilling. They're going to just have the ace. They're going to swing into the mountain bear. We'll let that die. Probably going to kill the chopper with the Yamato. We'll let that die. And then 10 at life. And now, I think since they only have 2 cards in hand, we go up board. Yep. Now we're going to kill the ace with the dragon. We can play the Kid Killer and swing into 10 into the Yamato. They do give us a 2K, but that's fine. We're going to hold up our shut up event. Because we're not in any rush here. We have tons of resources. They have very little resources. Any ace will not do anything for them. Any more Yamatos won't do much for them except pop the Kid Killer. They're going to swing 9 into the Kick Killer. We're going to get a chopper blocker off of the event, and then we're going to counter out of that just to keep the pressure. Because obviously they're going to want to play something big this turn, so we just put them off Ace. We put them off Yamato probably, most likely. They do have Katakuri, which is annoying. They're going to be able to bottom deck our 8-drop Dragon. I'm thinking about swinging to this Yamato, and I will just do it. I'm going to swing 7 with the chopper, -3 to make it a 6K. If they have the 2K counter, that's fine. I'll just swing 6 at it with Zoro. And they do decide to spend it on it, so we'll just kill it with Zoro, play the chopper, the book chopper to play the antler chopper, no effect, and then Nami search the blocker chopper, and then play the blocker chopper past turn. So just refill the board, go wide. They only have 1 card in hand this turn because they share a Hoshid. They'll go 5 into the blocker chopper. We gotta let that go, unfortunately. 5 into the antler chopper. Once again, gotta let that go. Hopefully they swing with the Katakuri so we can get another card. And they don't. But that's fine. Probably just go heavy life here and then hold up the blocker chopper. So we'll start with a 5 with the Nami, 6 with the book chopper, play the vanilla chopper. They do hit a Nami to kill our blocker chopper, which could have attacked for to put them potentially for game. So that is super annoying, and then they hit a 0-drop event. Once again, super annoying, but we're just in this position where it just won't matter. And the opponent is about to time out. I was thinking this game was going forever. The opponent's about to time out. They're going to swing 6 into our book chopper. Gotta let that go. We have no counter in hand. They're going to kill the Nami, kill the vanilla, and then not swing with the Katakuri once again. And now we can guarantee life, assuming they don't have any crazy triggers. And they do. So we just slam the Nami, grab the Zoro to punish them. It's whatever. Like, we did get the Zoro, so we do win. But still, like, come on, man. Double 0-drop event. Go into another game against a WhiteBeard player. This is a pretty short one, comparatively. I feel like this deck is kind of pieces up WhiteBeard, honestly. We're just going to play our Kareha into our book chopper to get our engine going. They're going to swing 5, 6. We'll counter out of the 5 and take the 6. We have no counter in hand, which is disgusting, but it's whatever. We're going to put a Dawn under the leader, swing Kareha into the Nami, swing 6 at life, and then play book chopper to play the blocker chopper past turn. He's going to kill the blocker chopper, fair enough, and then play Luffy, swing 6. We cannot counter out of that. So we just let it go. We're going to swing 6 with our book chopper into the Luffy, play a blocker chopper off of that, 6 into the Luffy once again, and then we can play one of our Zoros, swing 7 into the Luffy, just continuously making WhiteBeard give you cards is the general strategy. Just swing base numbers to make them give card. Because it's going to go a long way in the late game. They're going to swing 6 into our blocker chopper. We're going to shut up event into a book chopper, huge. And then they're going to swing 6 at life. I can feel a rush coming, so I decided to counter out of that with 2 1Ks. And we do get the 2K out of life, and then draw the blocker chopper. Once again, I'm going to be imploring the just 6K into these Luffy strategy until he runs out of cards in hand. Just spamming board with these book choppers. 6 with the Zoro. And now we can go 6 with the Kareha, probably. Yep, and then still have a 6-6 with our leader, or even 6-7 with our leader, Zoro. Replacing the Kareha, we'll go 7 into this Luffy, and it dies. So now it's kind of just GG at this point. Even if they have 9-drop WhiteBeard, it's probably not that big of a deal. We can survive all that. They're going to have, I think, their 3rd Luffy and just put us down to 0. That's fine. because we can just math them out of the game next turn and win. It's going to a Lucci game, so definitely a pretty bad matchup if they see everything they need. And also was just historically, I'm assuming, a bad matchup in the Asian areas because of the stage. We're going to go first, though. We're going to play a Nami into a Book Chopper. We're going to swing 5 and then play the Book Chopper and hit the Vanilla Chopper off of that. And their only play is to swing 9 into our Vanilla. That's fine. We're going to put 1 under our leader and then swing 6 with the Book. Play the Super Bill, the Super Duck team, whatever, as our only target. And then we're going to play Zoro, swing 6, and then Zoro, swing 7, which it should have been leader first and then the 3-drop because, you know, I have come to learn that this deck plays a ton of triggers that say kill a 3-drop or less nowadays. So you definitely want to play around that more than I do. We're going to swing 5 with the Nami and then 6 with the Zoro. So we can go 5, 6, 7 and then play the blocker. An opponent just has no counter in hand, so they're taking all of these, which, you know, Lucci is historically a low counter deck. We can tell that they want to play their Gecko so bad, so we decide to block that 2K swing. Just to have some more swingers coming their way next turn, and also like our hand can't really do anything else but protect cards on the field. They're going to Rebecca, and once again, not the best players I'm playing against on the sim today. The opponent just didn't minus anything with their leader ability, which I guess didn't matter if they were just planning on breaking it. We're going to swing 7 with the Chopper and minus to the Borsellino, and then they take both blocks, and then we're going to swing 9, put them down to 0, hold up the shut up event, so that just in case they are able to clear our 2 bodies, we can potentially play out another body to go for game, in the case they play a blocker as well. We are going to shut up and come and play the Mountain Bear. I probably should have not played that until they swung with the Brook, to be honest. You know, thinking back on this. So, you know, I'm still learning. Need to fix that. Because now they can just kill the Mountain Bear with the Brook. So they are going to swing 5 into our Zoro, and then 7. We got to let the 7 go. And now we're just in a spot where, like, we're sitting at 5 life, so we're not dead anytime soon. But, like, if they can just keep playing blockers, we're kind of stuck. So we are just going to play both of our bodies. Hopefully they can't clear both and we can go for game. And if they also can't clear both and play a blocker. I mean, obviously their leader, Brooke, can clear the Sanji just by themselves, which sucks. And they do have another Tempest Kick for the Antler Chopper, and then a Lucci will kill both characters. So now we're in the same position we were in last turn, but even worse. But they decide to swing at life. So now we get a Zoro off the top deck and a Kid Killer off of the life. So we are just going to go 9 to try and bait out the blocker and then swing with the Kid Killer, but they do just counter it. So now we're going to swing 9 with the Kid Killer, hold up the Radical Beam past turn. I still don't think we're dead because they have to kill the Kid Killer and kill us. Or no, if they don't kill us, they have to kill the Kid Killer, so they're kind of just in a weird spot. So they can't kill us. In my opinion, I just think there's no way. There goes 7. And I'm just taking all these to try and incentivize them to go for game because, you know I have the Rad Beam. And if they did have the blocker, I had the Zoro, so it's like whatever. Even if they did have Sabo or Rebecca. Assuming their hand isn't a ton of counter, which it shouldn't be because they were taking life so early. Then I'm good either way, whether I take those or not. We'll go into the next game against King. Once again, a short one because it seems to be a pretty good matchup for the Zoro deck. And we do open pretty cracked into Nami into the Book Chopper. We're going to play Nami, grab a 2k counter because we don't really need any of those other cards. We're just going to go 5. They'll counter, and then we will play the Chopper. Into the duck thing. I'm not sure how, I don't really know what King does, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be very good into our deck at least. Seems like a more slower deck. They're going to go 6 at life, and we'll just take it. Free cards. Put a Dawn under leader, swing 6 with the Chopper. Play the Antler Chopper. They'll take that, and then we're just going to swing 5 with the Nami. Probably 5 with the Nami, 5 with the Duck, 7 at leader. They're going to go down to 2 life with only 5 cards in hand. They're going to play the Kamazo and then use leader ability to -1 cost to the chopper, or -2 cost to the Chopper, and then Kamazo effect. Since a -2 Dawn, they can KO a 1 or less, which is said Book Chopper. Then they're going to use their Searcher event, look at top 5 for a Big Mom or a Kaido or Animal Pirates. You're going to take Black Maria, the one that got law banned, and then swing 7 into our Antler Chopper. And like, since we have a lot of counter and like we don't really want to give up our pressure, so I will counter out of that. Now I can swing 5s, make them discard a ton of cards, and then play accordingly. You know, pivot accordingly. Since they took that, we're just going to go 9. If they didn't take that, then we just go 6 and play the blocker, but we can just kill them that turn. So let's go into one more game before we finish this one up. Hand's alright. We don't have the Book Chopper, unfortunately, off this Kureha. So we just take the Vanilla Chopper and then hold up the Shut Up event. And we do hit the Book Chopper off the Shut Up event, so that's really nice because we get to play it after they've already minus costs with their leader. We're going to put a Dawn under our leader and then swing into the Spandam. Swing with the Book Chopper. Play the Blocker Chopper. They hit an Ice Age to kill the Book Chopper. Pretty nice. They'll 2k Who's Who, and then we'll swing 6 with our Zoro. And they hit another KO 3 cost or less trigger Tempest Kick to kill our Zoro. They're going to go 6 at life, -1 to the Chopper, and then clear our board with the Lucci. Pretty lucky of them, to be honest. Hitting double 3k or less, which I mean fair. Like, they're running a lot of Ice Age. They're running a lot of Tempest Kick, so it's like bound to happen, but it's kind of insane. It went back to back, and then they just happened to have the Lucci to be able to clear our board next turn. But we are just going to try and put them down to 0 as fast as can to try and make up for how bad we just got sacked. We'll go 7, 8, and they will take one of those. Then they're going to go 6, 7 after killing our Kid Killer, because of course they have another way to kill something. Here we probably play the Rayleigh, ensure a kill on one of the Luccis, and then swing 5 at life. They will go down to 1 card in hand, 2 on the next turn. And their Lucci is only 4k because we -2 it with Rayleigh. They're forced to play Khalifa because I guess they have nothing else to do. I don't know. Their hand was like Khalifa, Jack, Spandam or something. I don't know. No, they only had 2 cards, so it must have been Khalifa, Spandam, or Khalifa, Jack or something. Yeah, so they can't kill us. We'll just take both of these. And we have a 100% game next turn with the Kid Killer. We know their last card in hand is Kaku because they searched it off the Spandam, so we can swing 6 and then 9 and then 13. So let's go into the list one more time. So once again, like I said, this card's busted. If you didn't believe me before, you should now. This card is nuts. I think this is what I think Zoro is going to be pretty good next set, to be honest. I could be wrong about that. Maybe I just haven't tested it a lot, and a lot of it is theory, which is why I wanted to throw it onto the sim to give my theory a test. Seems to be doing well. You know, I could make some changes going forward, but right now I like the deck a lot. Either way, GG's to all those guys. Make sure to subscribe to Plastic Beach X3 for more One Piece videos, and peace out.